If you Google the easiest college majors that pay well, you would just get a generic list like this. And most of these majors don't even lead to super high income jobs. And YouTube videos include majors like finance and economics, which is absurd because those are known for being math heavy and a lot of people find them hard. So I had to take matters into my own hands and come up with a unique list of degrees that can pay over $100,000. Hey everyone, my name is Hisham Khan and welcome to Income Over Outcome, your go-to spot for all of the college and career resources that you need. This is a highly requested video. When I made a video on the hardest college majors, so many of you commented that you wanted a sequel on the easiest college majors. And you already know. You ask, and I shall deliver. So let's jump right into it. Let me know what you think about these majors. Did any of them surprise you? Are there any majors that you thought I would include that aren't on this list? Whatever it is, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Starting off, we have construction management. The degree you should choose if you want to be like Bob the Builder with a Lambo. Jokes aside, construction management is a great career to go into. One of my friends who has a construction management degree swears it's one of the easiest and most practical majors. A lot of the work involves projects that are done with classmates while you're still in class, so the workload outside of class isn't as insane as a STEM degree, for example. Obviously, the amount of work you have to put in depends on what school you go to, but in general, construction management is easier than a lot of the other degrees out there. And most companies require you to have a bachelor's if you want to go into construction management, so it's super important that you get the degree. Like with a lot of other majors though, it could be hard to get a job if you don't have hands-on experience. Everyone I know in construction management had relevant internships and jobs while they were still in college, but a lot of schools actually include that in their program. They make you work for a semester instead of going to classes, and that makes it super easy to get the experience that you need. The skills you learn are also super practical when it comes to finding a job, and demand is growing faster than average. It's all about learning every single aspect of construction so you can monitor construction projects and make sure everything is happening exactly as it needs to. You would take classes like cost management to understand what exactly impacts construction material prices and how to get the job done at the most efficient price. And classes like project management where you would learn everything it takes to lead a construction project, from making sure you set the right deadlines to leading a team of people. So, if you're a big picture person who likes building things, managing people, and managing projects at a large scale, then construction management might be the perfect major for you. Overall, the average salary is $97,000, but in my opinion, that's not even the best part. The skills you learn set you up perfectly to start your own construction company or even a little side hustle, which a lot of the people who get this degree end up doing, and that can end up earning you well into the six figures. Up next, we have health information management. Now this one I can personally vouch for because it's the degree that I have. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that part of the reason I chose this major is just because of how easy it is. Every single major I was looking into required you to take at least calc and a language. And in high school, I was horrible at Spanish and absolutely hated math. So there was no shot I was about to do it all over again in college. Health information management was one of the few majors out there that didn't have any of those prereqs, so it was a no-brainer for me. But also, with the population getting older and healthcare being a front and center issue for everybody, healthcare is one of the fastest growing industries with a ton of opportunity within it. Getting a degree that gives you the skills to work in the healthcare industry is generally going to lead to a secure career. Now in health information management, we focus on the business side of healthcare. You'll learn everything about how healthcare operates as a whole, from what needs to happen when a patient comes in to how we handle billing and insurance after the patient leaves. Similar to construction management, what I like most about him is just how practical it is. Every single skill you learn can directly be put on your resume and make you more hireable. The major focuses heavily on healthcare data analysis, which might sound complicated, but it's just learning how to use Microsoft Excel and creating pretty looking graphs. And anyone can pick that up in like a week. And if you saw my video on the best degrees for 2022, then you know that data analysis skills are huge. And because of that, the major can get you a bunch of different types of jobs, not just a job in a hospital. Now obviously I'm biased, but I think the major is ridiculously easy for all the benefits you get from it. I put in way less work than all my friends who studied traditional high-paying degrees like engineering. I remember my engineering friends would spend countless hours trying to figure out one insane math problem on a homework. and engineers were constantly stressed about potentially getting a 50 on their next test. But on the other hand, during most semesters in HIM, we only had classes for like 3 days a week, and we got like 2 hours max a week of homework. That made college one of the easiest points in my life. I was able to branch out and try a bunch of cool classes, like an entire course on skydiving. And I wasn't constantly worried about school. Instead, I had time to focus on myself and build up my career. Because of all the extra time we had, most people in my major had an internship or job in a hospital while we were still in school. And that absolutely propelled us above everybody else when it came to finding jobs senior year of college. HIM is even easier than a lot of liberal arts degrees out there, like history and international studies. My friends in those majors always had to read like 50 pages a night and write 10-page papers. But I kid you not, I only had to write 2 papers my entire career as a HIM student, and they were both less than 2 pages and double-spaced. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Although I found the actual major to be a breeze, some of the prereqs were actually pretty difficult. Because it's a healthcare-focused degree, you have to take classes like bio, chem, and anatomy. And for someone like me who doesn't like science, that was a pure struggle. But in general, my experience is that HIM is one of the easiest majors while still being useful. Some people I know actually used HIM as a pre-med or pre-dental degree because it's a unique way to show interest in the healthcare industry, and because of all the free time we had, they were able to complete all their pre-med requirements. Which is all the more reason to get the degree. It can help you stand out in a pool of bio majors in a med school application. But if you end up being like one of the 50% of people who don't get into med school right away, then you're still set up for a high-paying job out of college. If you play your cards right, you'll do way less work than an engineering major, but end up making about the same amount when you graduate college. Now your pay does depend on what exactly you choose to do with your HIM degree, but on average, someone in healthcare administration earns around $104,000. This is the point in my video where I would normally ask you guys to like and subscribe. But by now I've learned that if you aren't subbed yet, then you're probably not going to do it. So just stay unsubscribed. That's right, do not subscribe to my channel. Don't hit that sub button, and especially don't hit that notification bell. Next is supply chain management. Now I honestly wasn't too familiar with this major, but I knew a few people in college with it, and they all ended up getting really good jobs. So I looked a bit into it, and it turns out supply chain is super important. People in supply chain oversee the entire logistical process of moving things around the world and making sure they get to the right place. Companies like Amazon are built on creating an innovative supply chain. They have hundreds of warehouses, trucks, planes, all just so you can get a package in 2 days. And all of that is managed by supply chain managers. There's always going to be demand for supply chain managers because every single company in every industry, as well as countries, need them to move product. Medical companies like Cardinal Health build supply chains to help get resources to hospitals all around the world. The supply chain network is also used by countries to trade food and natural resources. Without supply chain experts, I wouldn't be able to enjoy this beautiful imported orange in 30-degree New York winters. And supply chain has only become more valuable recently, with more people than ever before trying to get things delivered to their homes. But at the same time, there being a ton of labor shortages that have caused the cost of shipping things to skyrocket. It's part of the reason that the prices of everything is going up, and the fact that a ship got stuck in the Suez Canal, halting global trade for days, definitely didn't help. And now the global supply chain network is an insane mess. But that means now is better than ever before to get a degree in supply chain management. By now, you've probably noticed that a lot of the degrees on this list are business related. A lot of people knock on business majors for being easy. People think that an easy major isn't going to get you a good job or a highly impactable one. I know some STEM majors even feel superior to business majors just because they work harder. But the truth is, business majors have a great ROI when it comes to the effort you have to put in for all the benefits that you earn. Take supply chain management for example. You don't have to spend countless hours in a lab like a bio major and stress every single final season about how big the curve is going to be so you can finally pass a class. But you'll graduate college to earn around $60,000 with an average salary of $112,000 once you gain some experience. And the work you do is still impactable. You might not be saving lives directly like a bio major hopes to do, but when an emergency situation happens, it's someone in supply chain who makes sure that that bio major can get all the resources they need to help people. And a risk with a lot of these hard science majors, like bio, is that you put all this work into undergrad, but if you don't immediately go to med school or grad school, then you'll struggle to find a job. If you do happen to find a job in biology, then your average salary would be just around $40,000, which is why a lot of bio majors in that situation end up in a career that has nothing to do with their major. Now, of course, everybody has their own goals. Someone who wants to major in bio probably doesn't want to major in supply chain, and that's totally okay. The point is that harder work doesn't necessarily mean better outcome. Whatever you choose, just make sure you have a full picture of the opportunities you'll have once you graduate. Now we have one of the easiest business majors, marketing, mainly because it's not built on a foundation of math like accounting or finance, but it still has potential to create extremely high income. I spoke about this in detail in my video on the best business majors, but marketing is a valuable skill to every single company, no matter what industry they're in, because it doesn't matter how good your product is. If you can't get the right eyes on it, you aren't going to earn money, which is precisely why marketing can pay so much, with the average marketing manager earning around $146,000. At the end of the day though, if you want to study something that's easy and can earn you a decent amount of money, then there's way worse choices you can make than marketing. Ultimately, you shouldn't chase the degree that seems easiest. Instead, choose something that you truly enjoy, because at the end of the day, the more you enjoy something, the easier it is. Now remember, don't subscribe. But if you found this video helpful, check out incomeoveroutcome.com because I post a bunch of free articles that have workshops and resources to help you grow your career. Also, before you click off, check out one of these videos. I'll see you next time, but until then, peace.